welcome to the Brewtiful Game. As always, I am Blake here with Ferris.
Hola.
And Ron.
What's happening?
And today we're here to talk a little Premier League, some NWSL news, also some excitement about us getting to see a World Cup qualifying match. For the
Yeah, man,
men's
excited
team.
about that.
Friday.
Big game.
Around the corner.
Can't wait.
I've had family in town visiting today. We've been sitting by the pool drinking rum drinks all day long. So this pod brought to you
All day long?
by some rum anejo. No, to be fair, the last couple of hours before you guys got here.
And now, don't forget that part.
I did make one. Well, the ginger beer was going to go bad if I didn't make another light and stormy. It's light and stormy because I didn't have any Black Seal rum. It's just Ron Anejo golden rum and ginger beer and lime.
As you do, of course.
Yeah.
Well,
You do.
it's a solid
But
drink for smoking.
It is, but it's way different than the last time when I had the rum shots and Arsenal lost 4-0 to Liverpool.
That's accurate.
That's very
I'm
accurate.
happy. There's going to be no rant.
No
Well,
hate cake
well,
thrown out?
Hold on, let's not get that far.
Yeah, no, there'll be a rant about something
There's
at some
no
point.
hate cake. No, I got no hate cake for this go round.
There'll be something out there.
Yeah, not that bile-filled
no.
hate cake that I had for that match. This is just happy times. It's good times. Great oldies. On 104.1. WQ5, the Brewtiful Game.
CBS FM 101 on Cousin Brucey. You remember that guy, Cousin Brucey? Did you guys ever listen to him?
Cousin Brewski.
Brucey.
Oh, Brucey.
Yeah, if you were in the north, anywhere near the north, he was like the most famous New York disc jockey, and he played like doo-wop and oldies.
What was his name?
Cousin Brucey.
Because all I can
Cousin
think of is
Brewski.
Steve Bruce doing like a radio show, but like without his shirt on, like sitting in the sun recording. Like on the
Steve
beach.
Bruce doing hip-hop AM DJ.
Steve Bruce.
Hey, we got a little bit of Ice Cube coming on right now.
Hey, Steve Bruce, the hip hopopotamus.
W225 Jazz.
Oh yes, I'm not even
Rockin' Brighton.
From Brighton to Newcastle, here we are tonight.
I miss Steve Bruce.
Oh, who doesn't?
Hey, he'll probably be the coach of Crystal Palace for the season's out.
Yeah, who the hell
So-
knows? Well, he's actually doing pretty well with the Villa squad. They've had a decent year so far, so he's trying to get himself back up into the Premier League with them.
I just miss that man and his beach
Yeah.
body.
Oh, it's phenomenal beach body.
Brilliant.
Put us all to shame.
Speaking of beach bodies, who's got the beer today?
What kind of segue was that?
It's one that's lost its charge. Get it? Because segue.
God. Can we move on?
Oh,
It's gonna be one of
First
those.
dad joke of the evening right there, ladies and gentlemen.
There's more to come.
Oh, man.
I think we should just go right to the
I
beer.
think we should as well. So,
You just
as he
sip a
takes-
little,
yeah, I can-
little of this
yeah.
rum.
So it was kind of an interesting.
It sounds like he's eating chunky milk when he does that.
Everything about it. Okay, back to the regularly scheduled program. So I get a call about 7:45 the night. We're recording a little bit later than normal, and it's Ron going, "Hey, dude, I gotta help out a friend. Can you do the beer today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta get going. Let me try to get something because in my fridge, the beers we've already had, like Pacifico and stuff that I like." So I'm like, yeah.
I imagine when you open Ferris's refrigerator that it's just cases lined with long neck bottles of Pacifico.
And like a third of Guinness. Like that's what it's Guinness for breakfast.
You've literally named everything in my fridge right now.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, so I figured we didn't want to do Pacifico again on the pod. So ran over to the local establishment, Total Wine, and was trying to find something that was already on ice, and something that was unique. And then I saw something, and I'm like, you know what? It's that time of year. 2 days into October.
Ooh. A hint of the fall, my good man.
Oh. Yes, from a brewery I've never heard of, nor have seen. But it is Fall Horn and Pumpkin Ale by Anderson Valley Brewing Company in Boonville, California.
Boonville, California.
Boonville, California.
All right.
Our first pumpkin beer of the season on the pod.
Did we get one in last year? Did we get a pumpkin
I don't know
beer?
if we got it. Was an Oktoberfest? Or was it a pumpkin?
We did
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest.
We got into Christmas beers.
Yeah, I don't know if we ever did a pumpkin. This may
Oh,
be
we
the
gotta go
first
check.
ever.
Could be.
This may be the first ever pumpkin ale.
You know how we could tell?
What's that?
The Brewtiful Beer blog.
This is true, and that's on where?
You should check it out. It's at brewtifulgame.com.
Cool.
/beer blog.
Yes, indeed. All right, so Anderson Valley Brewing Company from Boonville, California. A little bit of history on them. Anderson Valley Brewing Company was founded on December 26, 1987 in the town of Boonville, California. In the beginning, we brewed out of a modest 10-barrel brew house located in the lower level of our original brew pub, the Buckhorn Saloon.
The Buckhorn Saloon
Good name of
is
a saloon.
a great name for
That
a
is also
Wild
awesome.
West saloon.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
At that time, we were only 20 craft breweries in the country and have long been considered one of the pioneers of craft beer industry. By 1996, demand for our award-winning ales exceeded the capacity of our 10-barrel brewery, so we started construction on our current facility at the corner of Highways 128 and 253, just 1 mile down the road from Buckhorn Saloon. Surrounded by rolling hills, peppered with century-old oaks to the west, and towering redwood forest to the east, our 26-acre property houses a 100-barrel brew house, tasting room, beer garden is home to one of the first 18-hole disc golf courses ever built.
Wow.
Okay.
At a brewery. So they've been there for a very long time, located again in California. All sorts of awesome normal beers, I say. All sorts of year-round releases such as Boot Amber Ale, Hoppin' Hootin' IPA, Etall IPA.
Their names are awesome.
They're fantastic. Helchenal Hops Double IPA, Barclays Belgium Ale, Brother David's Triple Abbey Style Ale. So that's kind of their year-round stuff. We have one of their seasonal stuff. They have a Summer Solace Seasonal Ale. They have the Fall Hornin' Pumpkin Ale and the Winter Solace Seasonal Ale. So hopefully we'll get to see the winter one here soon. But this particular beer is... okay, here we are. With a brilliant deep copper hue and creamy beige colored head, our Fall Hornin' Pumpkin Ale has invited aromas of caramelized malt and baking bread with highlights of cinnamon, nutmeg, pumpkin, and seasonal spices. The pleasantly creamy mouthfeel and silky body embrace the sweet caramel flavors and tang of spices, with just a hint of hops that ends in a smooth, round finish.
I'm sold.
Food pairings, as you do. Cranberry scones, as you do.
That's specific.
Yep.
Yeah.
Roasted root vegetables, as you do. Steak chili, and caramel flan. Cheese pairings.
All right.
This reminds brie and aged cheddar. Did I ever share this?
No, go on.
Okay.
We're going to come
Okay,
back
yeah,
to
we'll
why
come back to
brie,
that. We'll come back to
why
that.
brie is funny.
Yes, that's why I started laughing. Blake got me there. Ron, you if you don't know it already, you'll know the story. Glassware is pint glass, alcohol by volume 6%, 20 on the IBUs. Pale two-row, Maris Otter, Munich, Crystal, 120 liter dark chocolate pumpkin puree are all the malts, and the Bravo is the hops. So
Sounds awesome.
I'm excited. That sounds
Shall we?
awesome. And I was cooking ribs today, so this would be like dessert. It's perfect.
and the weather outside here in Orlando is
Feels like
unconventionally feels amazing right now for the middle of where we're at, October or the start of October.
Start, yeah.
So
So for
on-
us, it doesn't
there
feel
you
like
go.
this till November usually.
On the can is a bear, like a bearalope.
Yeah,
like,
Bearalope.
like jackalopes, you know? It's bear with like stag antlers.
Yeah,
and it was
pretty cool.
called Buckhorn Saloon, right? 'Cause that's the place you walk into, and you're like,
The Buckhorn Saloon. Yeah,
I want a whiskey. Don't clean the glass. Like,
Right.
That's like,
Or the guy's spitting in it to clean
Yeah.
it, you know? Is polishing the glass going...
love it.
all right. Here we go.
I'm excited.
Ooh, I can smell the pumpkin and spices.
I think while you gents pouring that, I'm gonna pull out my back pocket here a little Brewtiful Game beer koozie.
Oh, sweet.
Ooh.
How can you get those, Ferris?
You can get those by leaving a review on iTunes, which we've already had 3, 4, 5, something like that. They've been fantastic. Thank you very much. Even if you don't want to leave a good review, that's okay too. Leave a review. It helps us out. It helps people to discover the show more. And we'll send you a lovely Brewtiful Game beer koozie. We still have 4 or 5 more to go, and we'll send you something. Extra
we're doing the first 10. Yeah, because we got a few that have been sent us. We had Amanda Scott send us one. We've had Callie send us one. I got to check the Brewtiful Game email as well because we also got one from there. But if you just will either tweet us or email us at the brewtifulgame@gmail.com or tweet us at Brewtiful Game, DM or a direct message, and let us know you have sent in a review. Take like a screenshot or something, so we can get. Oh, Brian Walsh was our other one that went up. A USSF referee.
Yeah.
More than 25 years. Really sweet to get that review.
Thank you all very, very much.
But Callie, Amanda, thank you all so much. I'm hoping I'm not forgetting anybody off the bat, but I think that's what we had was 3 new ones that just popped up. But there will be some Brewtiful Game koozies and a little something extra coming your way.
Yep. It all goes out.
Absolutely.
It all goes out tomorrow.
Right. So we got, so that means we got 7 more of these to go.
7 more.
That's right.
7 more.
Leave us a review on the iTunes. Send us a picture or a screenshot of what you're doing and hit us up. We will get you a Brewtiful Game koozie. We appreciate it.
But wait, there's one. No, I don't have anything actually.
I don't know what just happened.
All right, let's try this.
It'll seal a boat.
We're derailed.
So the Anderson Valley Fall Hornin Pumpkin Ale.
It's got a lot of spice to it. The smell
Smells good.
It's a pretty
like
dark
fall.
beer too.
Yep. Cheers, gentlemen. It is
Cilantro,
A really dark amber.
really dark. Well, that's good.
That's tasty.
I have a lot of people that whenever I
Wow,
talk,
that goes on and
tasty.
on.
people talk about pumpkin ales, and a lot of people will say they don't like them. I think it's because they find some that are too sweet. This is not.
Oh.
This is more about a hint of pumpkin and more about the spices that go into a pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
If that, the nutmeg, the coriander,
Yeah,
that kind of.
it's a little bitter up front, but then the finish takes a long time.
That's smooth. Also, pumpkin ales are ones that a lot of times you kind of, they're a slow sipper. This is not. This is a good, solid,
this is a
drinkable
really
beer.
good, yeah. Kind of wish we were doing the pod outside because it was beautiful out. We could have
If
this.
we could have figured out how to have the pod outside, we just hear the frogs croaking in the distance. It feels amazing outside. Fall Horn and Pumpkin Ale, Anderson Valley. Well, for our first time with this brewery, that is a success.
I agree. And you can, their website is www.avbc.com, which I believe is Anderson Valley Brewing Company for short.
Yep, and we'll put a link to them on the show notes.
But awesome stuff.
Good call, especially for a last minute call. Sometimes when you have to make the last minute call for the beer for the pod, they turn out pretty awesome.
Yep.
Man, this is really
Well done.
This is really good.
Tasty.
Good job, Senor Ferris.
Yes, I wish we had some brie cheese.
Well, here's the thing. Before we get to the soccer, as we sit around on this fall day, sipping some delicious fall beer, it's as though we're sitting around the fire. But instead of Big Papa Ron story time, it's Big Daddy Ferris' story time.
Don't ever call me that again.
Too late.
It's happening.
If I have to be Big Papa at a stark 148 pounds, 5'8", and I have to be Big Papa, you could be Big Daddy because at least you're tall.
I'm shooting at a 2 bills, 6'6", gangly as hell frame over here.
But you got a good story. Fall time. I don't know if it's a fall time story, but the brie cheese brings up some memories. And
The brie cheese, we were laughing.
Ron, you still don't remember, do you?
No, I don't think so.
This is back at the
I don't
Citrus
know
Bowl,
how you
Orlando
go-
City
right.
Games at the Citrus Bowl.
We were. It was a season or two ago.
totally remember.
It was a season or two ago. It was at the Orlando City game at the Citrus Bowl. Blake and I go to get a beverage at halftime, and as we make our way onto the concourse, we're sitting there. It's me, Blake, and a friend of ours, and we're sitting there, and our friend goes to the bathroom. And I'm talking to Blake, kind of like I am now, standing across, but we're standing up and we're in the concourse. And these arms wrap around me, and this head plants her head right on my back. And I'm like, okay, we're going out there to meet a friend. So I'm like, oh, maybe this is the friend. Turn around. Don't know this chick. Not even like a little bit. But she has been in her cups a bit.
Yeah, definitely pre-gaming.
A bit, yes. Well, and during the game. And she was in there. So I turn around and I, hello. And I don't remember what she said at the time.
And I just thought she knew you. That was my
right
because of how she laid her head on
right.
you.
And I had no clue who she was. And I don't remember exactly what she said at first, but then she goes, "Can I get a picture with you?" Or no, she turns to her like
boyfriend.
What we think is her boyfriend.
Yep.
And goes, "Hey, get a picture of us." So I'm like, okay, maybe it's somebody just thinking they've never seen a tall person before and let's get a picture. It's happened. So, all right, whatever. I'll take a picture. Hands it to the guy. And Blake's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And the guy's like, "Dude, I don't care. I just met this girl like 2 minutes down the way at a bar."
Yeah, because it's Orlando. So I said, "Are you guys from here? You local?" Like, yeah. He's, I don't know her. I just met her, man.
No. So we get a picture, which
and I'm standing next to him taking the picture while I'm like thinking in my brain, well, is this guy mad because maybe he was trying to get with her, but now she's randomly hugging Ferris? Does she in fact know Ferris? Who is this guy?
I have no clue.
I am so confused at this point.
We take a picture. We'll tweet out that picture, I guess. I think I still have it somewhere on my phone. Friend comes back from the bathroom. This random girl is kind of puttering around in the area there with this guy that she just met. They're stumbling. They're a little drunk. Blah, blah, blah. She then comes over and just kind of and like puts her hand up on my shoulder and goes, "Hi." Like, hi. Hi.
I wish you could see how Ferris is
I'm
acting.
Brie like the cheese. And I'm like, "I'm Ferris like the wheel." She goes, "Can I ride you?" And I was like, "No." "No, you can't." And she was like, "Okay." And then she just stopped, turned around, and her and the dude took off. And we were just like, what the happened? I was just like,
I'm Brie. Like
the cheese.
Oh, I'm Ferris, like the wheel. Can I go for a ride? I mean,
no.
You could have heard
it was boom, boom, boom. And Blake's just standing there like wide-eyed with the beer in his hand, just like, and then just starts busting. We just bust out laughing because it's Brie like the cheese.
And you are Ferris like the wheel.
Ferris like the wheel.
Oh my God. That was one of the funniest things. And then our friend we're waiting for walks up and she's like, "What is wrong with you guys?"
What happened?
Because we are shell shocked by what just occurred. That was so weird.
Brilliant.
But good on her.
Yes.
My name's Brie like the cheese. I'm Ferris like the wheel. Can I go for a ride? You're simultaneously like, good game, awful game. At the same time. Because you're like good for thinking quick on your feet. But the reason I'm shocked you could is because you are wasted.
Wasted is, yes, the proper term. She was a few into her cups and she was having a good time. Hopefully she got home okay and safe and didn't end up on a curb or wherever. I don't know.
I was like, where are we going?
I don't know. Like just wherever drunk people pass out. That's where, you know.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny. Oh, Brie like the cheese.
Ferris like, you know.
Brilliant.
Hashtag can I go for a ride? We're gonna get that started.
My response is going to be hashtag no you can't.
Hashtag nope.
Oh man. We got any more of those? I feel like it's story time now. That's pretty good.
I'm sure we have some somewhere, and
We'll
they'll come out. And this just kind of came out in a random. This beer pairs with Brie and aged cheddar, so
and it's delicious. And I wish I had a piece of Brie, real Brie, not that Brie,
correct,
but actual cheese.
Thanks for the clarification.
Just making it clear. All right, gents. I suppose now we should 19 minutes into the pod actually get to the football. All right, so let's talk a little bit a little soccer. Match day 8, match week 8, as it were,
match week 7.
I'm sitting here staring at that, and I said 8. Match day 7, match week 7 for the Premier League. I was working very late this weekend, so I was very much catching all these kind of on the DVR as the mornings. I woke up later each morning with the first game being a bit of a disappointment to me because I do like the Terriers. I like the Huddersfield Town. I think it's just I like Sir Patrick Stewart.
Right.
So I just want them to win. But they got proving again that Tottenham plays only slightly better than the Miami Dolphins do at their stadium. That they can win away and play much better than they are when they're at home.
Yes.
They destroy them 4-0.
4-0. Another Harry Kane brace.
Yep. It's by the way, still not August.
No, it's not. It's not.
There's
We're
Harry
way
Kane.
past that, and he has a lot more goals since August.
Harry Kane showed Jay Cutler how to actually be a leader. Just saying.
Ouch. Yeah. Those London NFL games.
Wait, hold on.
we
Was
should've done-
anybody actually surprised with that?
No,
His
no.
wife had to talk him out of coming out of retirement to take a $10 million paycheck for a year to play quarter.
For a
He's
team
never
that-
looked interested in his life playing football. Why is now going to change?
He is certainly part of the sleepy quarterbacks club.
Yeah, him and Aaron Rodgers look like they could fall asleep at any moment.
And Eli Manning.
And Eli Manning,
Yeah.
sleepy quarterback.
Eli and Aaron Rodgers slightly, and by slightly I mean a lot better than Jacob.
Oh no, not talent. They got the sleepy,
no, they do.
sleepy
They just,
quarterback.
at
look.
any time, it looks like they're ready for a nap.
Harry Kane kind of has a doesn't he kind of
Yeah,
have
except
a sleepy look to him,
he
but he's not.
scores.
Yes, no, and he does a job very, very well.
We should have done it. We should have done a pod special on the NFL matches in London, but there really was nothing to talk about. Those were not.
Right.
None of them were good games. And then there was Tottenham, which was not a good game against Huddersfield.
If you're a Spurs fan, it was
Yeah, you were
fantastic
loving it.
game. Yeah, it was fantastic. Game.
Sissoko's goal in the last gasp of stoppage time.
Yep, just to kind of just put the cherry right there on. top
Yeah.
of the cake.
They just got to win at home.
Yes,
They got to do this at home.
But it does pose an interesting question. Is Harry Kane the best center forward in the UK? Some are saying the world.
Meaning geographically or like a.
Okay, like he is the best English center forward, or are we
Right.
saying
Just the best in the country right now.
so playing in the UK general?
And, and like I said, some are saying best in the world. If you want to go best in the world, I'm saying definitely no. You have Luis Suarez, Antoine Griezmann. You
No, I
have
think-
some others there for best in the world. In the UK,
I mean, you
I
still
think
have
he
the
is
Messi.
a very good center forward, surrounded by people that are great players that can assist well. I don't know that it.
I would say he's
Here's the thing.
he's neck and neck right now. And in my book, this is tough for me to say as a United fan, Sergio Aguero slightly leads him by. I think Sergio Aguero can create more for himself. Now, you did see Kane create a beautiful goal for his second goal, I think, in this game, where he had three people around him turned and on his kind of broke free and on his left foot, which is not his natural foot there. Well, it is natural foot. He was born with it. Dude. Just curled it in. But Aguero, I think, can create more, and he can score a lot of different goals, but it's so close. Kane is very, very good. Kane needs to show this on the international level now. The
Correct.
World Cup for him is going to be a very big stage.
I don't know. I mean, it's tough for me because it's like, well, we always knew Lukaku was good. Lukaku was good, right? I mean, there's no question. However, he is way better on Man United because of who surrounds him.
Yeah,
So
but he still put in the ball at Everton.
I'm just saying. I mean, if I don't know, when you say best in the UK, and I mean, maybe Ron will disagree, but my brain goes to it doesn't matter what team you're on, you're scoring, and I don't know if that's true with Harry Kane.
Oh, I think anywhere in the Premier League, yes. You put him on any team, he's still going to score. Because he can create more than Lukaku, I think. Again, that's tough for me to say. I think it goes Aguero, Kane, Lukaku, Morata at the current time for who all is in
I
in
would have
England.
gone Aguero, Lukaku than Kane.
I appreciate you.
No, that's I would have done.
But Kane, you forget, is very, very young. He's still 22, 23, so somewhere in there. I'm not 100% sure. But he is your center forward that England wants and what England loves. He's big, he's strong, he's powerful, can score with both feet, can score with his head. He just needs to now show that with the England badge on his chest.
Well, yeah.
I don't think he can be the best until he scores in August.
You know,
You laugh, but I mean,
there's
games are played in August, so yeah.
there's and guess what? They'd be sitting at the top of the league otherwise. That's what I mean. But they got to start winning at home and stuff too, because this is gonna be another year of I think they're going to have another frustrating year, Spurs fans, where sure you'll be happy because you'll probably end above Arsenal, but I don't think you're going to be top.
Don't know.
It's a tough one. It's a long year to go.
Be tight.
I think Harry Kane is phenomenal, but I do agree with Blake a little bit in the respect that the better service he gets,
The weapons surrounding him are amazing.
yeah, and I think that really propels him. I think you put him on Newcastle, he's not scoring as much. He's scoring, but he's not scoring as much because it'll be a one-man band. So
I don't think he's that kind of player.
correct. That's
I
where
could
I
be
think
wrong,
that's
but-
where I think he and Aguero are different. I think you put Aguero separately on Newcastle, and I think
Somehow he's still scoring.
he scores
Yeah.
more than Harry Kane does, just because he's a faster, more creative player.
Right, which
So-
I agree with, and I said I think it's slightly, but the English media
I'm not
is
knocking-
quite
dude's awesome.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
is quite entertaining at times when you listen to a lot of stuff that comes out of there because they're hailing this kid
super biased.
Oh yeah, well, and in the
He's
same
English
respect,
Jesus.
right? They lose or they win a World Cup qualifying game to Armenia or some smaller country like 1-0, and it's like
Wonder Boy is
right,
done. Yeah.
everything's done, and the England football is set back 30 years, and it's like, oh my gosh, there's no like center ground of hey,
Right. Amazing or not.
Dude, again, sorry. I think we all went to take a sip at the same time, so it was quiet. But that beer's good.
real nice.
That's real nice, man. Real nice. Moving on. Bournemouth, Leicester City. I love your headline.
This is the best. I can totally hear you say it when you wrote it. Eddie, how did he score? How did Bournemouth not score?
Eddie, how did Bournemouth not score?
Exactly.
Brilliant.
I love it.
They had
I
a
love
lot
it.
of chances. Jermaine Defoe hit the post. Jermaine Defoe can't buy a goal this year right now.
Nope.
They had tons of chances. Leicester had tons of chances. Bournemouth had a penalty shout in this game, which should have been a penalty. I don't know how this game ended in 0-0, but it did.
It did, but you know what? I mean, they certainly need 3 points, but Bournemouth needed a point. I'd say they just need any points. But Leicester sitting at 17th, just above the cutoff line. Leicester should have won this game. This should have been something Leicester walked into and won, especially with how Bournemouth's playing right now. That's rough.
That's where Leicester's headed.
Yeah, so we didn't go from winning the Premier League to getting relegated, but it might not be that far away if they don't turn around.
Will Craig Shakespeare make it to the end of the year? I think that was our
That was one.
question
Who
at the
called
beginning
that
of the
one?
year. No, that was our
That was just a-
headline thing at the
We did, but
beginning of the
nobody
year.
called that.
I don't think so.
No. Speaking of managers with short runs, Manchester United 4 over Crystal Palace 0.
Wait, did Crystal Palace actually show
Well,
up for this match?
Yeah, to be fair, I do think it was a bunch of children in blue uniforms. Look, Manchester United should have beaten Crystal Palace.
Yeah, there's
But-
the storyline is not Manchester United scoring four again.
But you're
That's not the
going
storyline in this game.
into Old Trafford as Crystal Palace. You need any points you can get. You should just be parking a bus and laying wait. They didn't even try to. There's the difference between Ron and I were talking about because we went and watched the Chelsea match at World of Beer, and we were talking about the Crystal Palace match. And I said, I know that Crystal Palace is supposed to have lost that match, which of course they did. But unlike we were talking about Bournemouth here, struggling as they are, Bournemouth, I did see them on the pitch against Leicester. They were trying. Crystal Palace looks like they're not even on the pitch. It is beyond dire, and I don't think Roy Hodgins will have long at Crystal Palace.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they fired their first coach after 4 games. Papa Ron is Grandpa Roy is hitting his
Papa Ron is
Papa Ron's
that's
right
different.
here.
Yeah, he's
no.
here.
Different pod.
He's hitting his 4th games when they come back from the break. And who do they have coming back from the break, I believe?
Oh, Chelsea. Yeah.
Which begs the question, why in God's name would you bring in a new coach, A, after only 4 games, and B, with the run of games that he's had?
Unless
He's played Manchester City, Manchester United and Chelsea in a run of 4 games. You are setting up a new coach to fail no matter who you are.
I mean, I guess you think it's just it's a write-off. You plan on losing them anyway, so you don't. Is the only thing I can think. But I mean, that is ridiculous. That is crazy.
DeBoer should not have been fired. No coach should have been. Steve Parrish is the one that needs to be fired.
But regardless,
he's the one that hires these guys and is setting this team up the way that he is. He's the one that should be fired.
They look like they were a barely promoted team out of the lower league that had no money to get more players. Like they just look.
They're playing like a low in the table 3rd division team.
Yeah.
What do we say? They have a lot of injuries. Zaha's injured. Benteke's injured. Scott Dan was injured. They have a lot of injuries. It's not an excuse.
They do.
And do I think they would have scored a goal with all those guys in the lineup? No, I don't. But it's still rough. And they're
I'll take it to someone that got relegated last year. Hull. Every game Hull was in, they fought tooth and nail. This feels like the complete opposite.
It's just sad.
Yeah.
It looks, and sorry, I mean, like, they're so bad that if Chelsea doesn't score 4 goals next week, Chelsea looks bad. Like, that's how bad Crystal Palace is.
Right.
Like, the question won't be Crystal Palace lost, but, is Chelsea losing their way? They didn't score 4. Like, this is just awful.
It's such a shame. Good club, good supporters. They got cheerleaders. They got an eagle. They got all sorts of fun stuff. And they're in London, and
we're done, right? Like, I mean, we're calling this, right? Like this is this year's Aston Villa from a couple years ago. They will sit in that bottom and never move out of it. And so the guaranteed relegation is there, which makes things a little friendlier for the 3 above it because they can try and fight for only 2 spots instead of 3.
I mean, it's tough to say after 7 games, but
you got
like another hard pressed to say that they're going to make it above the top 3 or the bottom 3 there. I don't see them doing that.
What? 26, 25
there's a lot
games.
Of games.
But, I mean, if you guys don't want to call it, that's fine. Blake will. Kaboom. Crystal Palace. I'm not Aston Villa, and they're going to sit there.
I'm saying there'll be an 18th
cake while I sip the rum that pairs quite deliciously with this pumpkin beer.
I think they'll be in relegation. I don't know that they'll be last because Bournemouth is only 4 points ahead of them.
You mean to tell me if they don't end the season last, you'll drink the Moo Thunder?
I never said that.
That's what I heard.
Well, we got to keep thinking about what's coming for the last Moo Thunder bet.
Do we though?
That was a close one.
Do we though?
We'll see how that gets. We start getting like 5 weeks out. They're like a point out, back and forth. Like,
I'll be the biggest Crystal Palace fan. Finish 19th. Damn it!
Come on. It's just. I mean, look, Bournemouth is struggling too. They have not scored, or they finally did score and drew the other week. Crystal Palace has yet to score.
They
have not scored a goal yet in the Premier League.
Negative 17 goal differential.
And to put that in perspective, the top team, Manchester City, at this point, a 20 goal differential.
A positive 20.
Holy crap. It's just, I mean, Bournemouth and Swansea City, Bournemouth struggling as they are, they still don't feel like that.
It's just terrible. It's watching Crystal Palace sometimes is like watching. I have a friend who's got like even better. Has a 12-year-old that plays soccer, and every time I've gone out, like 10 little kids all chasing the ball
like that
around.
old Atari 2600 version of soccer.
Yes. Yep. It's just a clump of people chasing the ball around, and occasionally it falls into the back of the net. And that is exactly what Crystal Palace's season is like.
Except it doesn't occasionally fall in the back of the net for Crystal Palace.
No, it goes the other way.
Yeah, it's completely the other way. This is, I mean, for anybody living here in the States that is frustrated, that their team isn't in a playoff spot or something, you could be paying way more for your season tickets and being a Crystal Palace fan right now. Remember that. It could be a lot worse. A lot worse. Sorry, dude. We're not even talking about Manchester United.
No. But I said it earlier. That's the headline. It's not the headline that Manchester United scored 4 again against a dire Crystal Palace team. Palace is the headline. It's sad to see a team do this.
Okay, so your headline, will Grandpa Roy be around? What do you guys think? Is he going to make it past game like match day like 10 or 11?
I think he has to. It'd just be insanity to keep firing coach after coach. You're not going to get anywhere with it. So at this point, you've dug the hole that you're in, lay in it.
An interesting thing I'm reading on Twitter right now is Tinfoil Transfers says Ancelotti to Crystal Palace.
What did you say?
What's amazing? That was
Who is
amazing.
Ancelotti?
Ancelotti,
Ancelotti.
No,
Wait, hold on. I
it's
think I said it
Ancelotti.
wrong.
You said it wrong. It's not Anchovialotti.
No, it's not
Ancelotti.
Right.
That's what I said.
Yeah,
Ancelotti.
you said it right.
Okay. I got confused.
I was like,
I can't hear.
did I say the wrong name? I'm pretty sure
No,
that's his
you-
name.
I don't. Move on.
Stoke City 2, Southampton 1.
Oh man.
And actually a pretty good match between these two, which could have been a little more boring than it was.
This is a
but
fun match.
It was a ton of fun. Peter Crouch bumbles his way into an 85th minute score.
I love your headline, Peter Crouch. Yep, he's still in the league.
Love Crouchy though.
And didn't we all think he'd be the star of the MLS this year? Like I really thought like he was out, you know. Oh man.
One could only hope at this point.
But a good win for Stoke. That moves them up to 13th from where they were on the table. I mean that was a good win.
And they needed it.
But this is a perfect. So this is, you know what? This is a good comparison back to the Leicester situation. They were sitting where Leicester was with 5 points. So they win a game they should win, but even though Southampton's no pushover, right? But this is a game they should go into on paper, and they should basically do this: struggle well but win. 2-1 is exactly what they did, and that's where Leicester coming up 0-0 against Bournemouth. Ooh, that headline's not Bournemouth. That headline to me is all Leicester. Like that's
I agree.
that's a rough situation. It's still weird to see Eddie Howe not or over at the Newcastle side of things. So weird.
I don't know. I think I've gotten used to it after this much time.
But let's say that rolls are from Stoke City to the long ball champions. Oh, this one was actually a quite exciting game.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. All the way down to the wire.
West Brom against Watford, and West Brom up 2-0 after the 21st minute with 2 goals. That was amazing because that's just not normally what West Brom does. And Watford has been fantastic this year. And to me, that is the headline, to come back right before the half and score a goal. And then in the 90th plus 5 minutes for Watford to score that clincher to draw. Watford sitting at 8th place, just a point below Arsenal and Chelsea.
Watford, like I said, I think we said it a few pods back. They are having a sneaky good season.
Yes.
Yeah, a very quietly productive season.
And when you're down like this and you come back and draw all fight to the end,
That shows fight.
that is the difference between champions and not champions.
I think the only team being sneakier, who is actually higher in the table on goal differential, though, is Burnley. Burnley is being super sneaky, winning those games, and they're in 6th right now.
They're just getting their jobs done.
Yeah.
And they're just doing it quietly and eking out 1-0, 2-1, having to come from behind like this just to get a point.
But Watford,
that's a big point for them.
Yeah.
Watford more prolific at scoring though. These
True.
guys
That's accurate.
could well, we're going to get to Burnley in a minute against the fact they're against Everton, but Watford could be the new Everton. Like under this regime, the way they are, this team that like, I don't think they'll beat, they might crack into the top 4 for a short period at something. They won't end the season that way, but they could very much be in the top 6.
Oh yeah, I think Burnley's going to end up falling out of that.
Yeah,
And-
good. Burnley's good, but
and
I think Watford's got a better shot. Yeah.
Only because, well, Watford has only picked up their scoring in the past couple of games. Burnley is in 6th. So Burnley, Liverpool, and Watford are all at 12th. And the only reason, at 12 points, in 6th, 7th, and 8th place respectively. Burnley is actually the more prolific scorers of season wide.
Completely different from last year.
Which is crazy. And the fact that they're over Liverpool is even crazier.
And Burnley playing better away this year when they were killers at home and terrible away last year.
Correct. So we'll get more into Burnley later, but Burnley is, if they keep up their form, it's going to be a race between Watford and Burnley to
4th, 5th, and 6th
Yeah.
are going to be a tight run to the end of the season.
Yeah, I agree.
No doubts. I mean, I don't know. We kind of felt like it could be last, but this might be this is shaping up to be a very fun Premier League as we come down the stretch. Both the top, the bottom of the top, the bottom, like this is going to be a fun season. That rolls us on to, speaking of folks that need to win a game, West Ham against Swansea City, two teams that desperately need 3 points.
Did anyone happen to see Bilic's little dance when
no, I missed that.
When he won was
No.
brilliant, by the way. Go check it out.
Like, what kind of dance was it? Was it like a shuffle?
He was
it a-
like doing this thing like
It needs to be in FIFA 18. That's all I know is a downloadable.
it was pretty entertaining. Give it a shot when
But West Ham up 1-0 over Swansea City. I missed this game due to my crazy schedule, so I did not get to catch this one. But I love your line. Questionable sub helps to save Bilic from getting the Sacco.
little shout out to
To a little the league.
and it was Diafra Sissoko who came on because it was a questionable sub. He came on for Javier Hernandez Chicharito. And everybody kind of booed him and was going, "What in the hell? You take off your star striker? We need a goal right now." And Sacco comes good, makes himself available, gets to the back of the post, beautiful ball in, late goal, 1-0, and cue Bilic's happy dance, and he basically saves his job because there was a lot of talk coming into this that he keeps dropping points like this, especially at home. He may not be in a job too much longer.
No. And because West Ham, another team like this Leicester situation, West Ham, Everton, and Leicester sitting at 15th, 16th, and 17th, respectively. That's ridiculous. There's enough talent on those teams to not remotely be in those spots. Those should be the spots that the Watfords are sitting at. And like that is just crazy to me. I know we're only on the 7th week or the 7th series of matches, but like
Times have changed.
That's just crazy, man. Moving on. Ooh, Ron and I had a great day at the World of Beer. We went in and got some. They've got a new brunch thing on the weekends. I'm talking about this because Brian probably likes this part better than the actual match. But we watched the Chelsea-Man City match and had some delicious, it was like loaded tater tots with jalapenos and sausage skillet. They were good, right, Ron?
It's
brilliant.
Yeah, it's
Just
real good.
trying to keep Ron happy.
you're
before
fine.
going.
I'm actually pretty proud of Chelsea in this match, to be
It
honest.
was, Man City wins over Chelsea 1-0. That Kevin De Bruyne, you could feel it coming, though. Man City was just foot on the gas in that last third, and I think Chelsea was lucky it wasn't 2 or 3-0.
I don't know. To
City
be
are
honest,
good.
City are a smashingly
They're
good team.
Great.
So the fact that it took City that long to score is really good on a new-ish defense. David Luiz was out. So Rudiger, Christensen, and Cahill were the back three. And you got to give it to Pep Guardiola because he made sure that God, what's his name? Sané and Sterling. They played so deep on the pitch, it really stopped like Azpilicueta, and it stopped Alonso from being able to run free on the sides of the pitch, our wingbacks. And that really pegged Chelsea into a hole very early on. And Chelsea never quite recovered from that. But regardless, the back three really did a phenomenal job. They cut out so many crosses, cut out so many good passing lanes. It was really hard for Man City to score. They had their fair share of chances, but Chelsea were pretty much up to the task with the exception of closing down De Bruyne once. So
But when we were watching, though, right before that goal came, we had said it because there was like a 3 or 4 series where they were pushing down, and we're like, man, this is coming.
right, it's going to happen.
And Kevin, you know those moments you're watching a soccer match and you see someone get the ball way back, and you know the goal is coming, and you could feel it. I mean,
Yeah.
he like
And he's technically
just
smart
class,
as well.
man. Yeah,
He
we
saw
all
the gap there.
Yeah.
He hit the gap and just powered. He didn't even power it. It just he hit the ball clean and smooth, and it just sailed in. Like he knew exactly what to do. Saw it ahead of time. Saw the gap there. Hit the gap. Beautiful shot. Golazo.
And really, he caught Bakayoko sleeping because it was off a give and go.
But you had the complaint for the match, though. Your big one was not Willian. They should have put in Batsui when gosh, who went out?
Murata went out.
Murata went out early.
Hamstring injury that could put him out for 6 weeks is what I heard today.
Yeah. And they put Willian in. And I was telling Blake, this was a big mistake because, in my opinion, Willian is not the prolific striker because he's a midfielder, first of all. And yes, he has a nose for goal.
Winger.
Right.
That's what he is.
But they were the Man City defense was not going to respect Willian like they would have respected Batshuayi. Especially with the amount of goals Batshuayi has been scoring and how much he makes defenses pay. Or put Pedro in because Pedro didn't come on till the 72nd minute. And Pedro is a much more creative, much more prolific goal scorer than Willian is. So it just didn't make sense to me to put Willian, who is yes, he is a winger, but technically he's a midfielder that plays the wing. And he's just not, he's not going to draw defenders. He's not going to make those smart diagonal overlapping runs. Pedro, yes. Batshuayi, yes. So I think that was I think that was a big mistake on Conte's part. But then again, I'm not a manager.
But you called it, though. You said it, that they weren't going to give him enough respect, that they weren't going to cover him as hard.
And he had 2 chances, both off target, in the entire match once he came on. So when Pedro came on and Batshuayi did come on, they were pressing Man City so much. We actually picked up so much in the 74th, 5th, 6th minute that you thought, oh, maybe it's possible that we're going to get an equalizer. But I really think Willian was a waste of time, which is sad because he's an incredible player.
We had a good time. Had some
at work, so I didn't catch a whole.
While you were at work, we were having some delicious beers. There was a Founders. I put it on Untapped. Rubeus. It's their raspberry beer because we were having brunch, right? So I wanted to have I want orange juice, but it's a beer place,
right?
So Rubeus, I believe it was on our Untapped. It was Founders tart, slightly sweet, balanced well, raspberry ale on nitro. Oh man, I had it before regularly. But on nitro, so smooth. It was kind of perfect with breakfast. Just shout out there to that Founders beer. If you're a beer fan, you think, well, that's too sweet, I wouldn't like it. No, that beer was delicious. And then moving on to Arsenal 2 over Brighton Hove Albion. I had to DVR this one because it was a 7 a.m. game and I was at work till 3 in the morning. I
slept straight to this one.
Here's the thing. I love Nacho Monreal. He had an amazing save the week before. I was really excited to see him get a goal for this game. Fantastic. And the headline, I went down for it. Nacho Shack. No, it's Nacho Ian Nacho's Nacho Shack offers early bird special. Guys, the stock.
You get it? Brighton Hove and Albion?
And Nacho's Nacho Shack has gone up with that score. I love it. The early bird special. Because they're the goals. It's a good one there, Ferris. Ferris like the wheel. Yep. Happy to see Nacho Monreal get a goal in.
Good goal from him, too.
Love the guy.
Defender, brought it down off his chest. Awesome goal.
The highlight is the back heel by Alexis Sanchez to Iwobi for that second goal. Did you see that, Ron?
I did.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. But here this comes down to Arsenal should beat Brighton Hove Albion, right? This is no shocker. But what's nice is you get a team like, you get a player like Nacho Monreal to net the score. Then you get a really great play by a non-greedy play by Alexis Sanchez to get Iwobi to get a goal in. So, but they should beat Brighton, right? However, the way Arsenal has been, this would be the kind of match that Belarus, is that where they were Thursday for the Europa, I believe?
I think so.
But this would be the kind of match that because they had a midweek match, they would weirdly go into with some substitutions, which they did, and not weird, but they'd make some substitutions and people would play poorly and there would be some kind of weird 1-1 or 0-0 draw. They didn't do that. They were just efficient. I'm not praising them again because they should win this game. But where Arsenal has had problems in the last few years is these games they should win are bizarre struggles coming out of last year, the Champions League matches, now this year Europa League matches. So, I don't know, as an Arsenal fan, in some weird way, a 2-0 victory over Brighton Hove Albion that's just consistent, it almost makes me as excited over one of the top teams because these are the ones we screw up at the end of the year. You're like, well, if we'd had those 3 points against Bournemouth or those 3 points against, Brighton Hove or whomever, we would be in the top 4. Well, I mean, that you got to win these. Also, though, this kind of loops back a little bit to the Crystal Palace situation. Brighton Hove Albion knows Arsenal's coming into play. And again, what we've said it 1,000 times, but they know what they're up against. They played parking the bus,
right?
They had no interest in pressing. They dropped again. This is why when it started, I thought, well, this is gonna be one of those matches. This is gonna be 0-0. These guys, and they did frustrate Arsenal at the beginning, because again, Granit Xhaka is in the center. That's not like where he was playing. He wasn't that great. He was having to cover a lot of ground. There was some moving around because of the previous match being just the past Thursday. But Brighton Hove Albion, though they lose, they go for a game plan that makes sense playing against a big club. I know we keep beating the dead horse that is Crystal Palace. Right. That's again what but Brighton still loses, right? But I don't take it away from their tactics. That they did the right thing. That's the difference with the Crystal Palace match of Man United.
As bad of a loss because you're like, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. You're newly promoted. It's against a proverbial top 6 team. Yeah, okay, a 2-0 win at their place. It's not like you're playing at home. You're going to get those throughout the course of the year.
Absolutely. But you pulled a tactic that makes sense. And to be honest, in the first, before that Monreal goal, I kind of thought this is how the match was going to go. So I don't know. As an Arsenal fan, somehow weirdly, a game like this almost excites me more than playing against one of the top teams because it's always these games we just screw up so bad as the season goes. Especially when you have to rotate players out. So, oof. We'll see. No hate cake. It's more of a cake. Meh cake.
I tell you.
It's a meh cake. I don't know.
Ferris is all about the noise today.
All right.
That was not me, by the way.
No, that was what I felt like was in Ferris's brain. That was me trying to do his inner monologue. But on the struggle bus, let's move on and talk about things over at Everton.
Oh my God. Everton. Man, sitting at 16th. 7 points.
No excuse with the talent on that team.
Nope. 7 points on 7 matches. -8 goal differential. And again, Burnley, who is, like we chatted about a little bit ago, sneakily into the 6th spot with a 1-0 win.
Just one behind Arsenal and Chelsea.
Yep.
I mean, these guys could win next week and leap Arsenal and Chelsea. That's an insane sentence to say. Well, I guess not next week, right? We got next week international break.
This coming week.
Coming week.
It's coming week. Yeah. But
and Burnley playing well away, which they did not do last year at all.
Correct. And Chris Wood, who did not one of our favorite Premier League strikers this year,
did not
knock it on the score sheet, but he is going to be and has been a great player for them. He manages that front line of theirs very well. He works very hard off the ball. He's strong. He puts in 110% he plays Sean Dyche, Burnley, Dave Fishwick's football.
Dave
Fishwick up there. Yeah.
And Sean Dyche. I love that Scotsman. He looks like he's an extra in Braveheart.
Yes, he does.
His face should be painted blue and he's awesome.
But he plays that style and he's exactly what they needed. And again, he doesn't appear on the score sheet here, but what he did in this game went a long way and just caused havoc for that back four of the Toffees.
That's
absolutely
true. And they have no answer for it. They didn't have an answer for it last week, and they didn't have an answer for it the week before that.
Could we live in a world? Could we live in a world where the last week sees Everton get eliminated.
Are you
and
calling
relegated.
that? Are you going to drink the last Moo Thunder?
No, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do the Moo Thunder on that one.
I think that's the one to do it on. Are you
That's
kidding?
the crazy one. I mean,
No, I don't think
no,
they,
if
I don't
they
think they
get
get
relegated,
relegated.
I think we're all drinking Moo Thunder.
Right. Yeah, okay, we'll do that right now. Yeah, no?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, God.
I didn't want to set myself up for
ultimate
that.
sadness of the season. That would depress me. Everton's great. Their fans are great. I mean, man, one of the best things about living here in Orlando and being into soccer, when we go out and we wear there's so many expats from the UK that live here. And whenever you're wearing a soccer kit from US to whatever you're wearing, they will chat some soccer and football with you. There's so many Everton fans down here, so many Toffees. There's a great group that always goes downtown and watches the games. I love when they play against Man United and they march down to the Man United club and vice versa. They're great. I don't want to see this club out of the Premier League.
And I don't think you are going to see it. I think,
Dude,
they're somehow going to survive, but
they
the moves they made in the off season look really good on paper, but have not translated to the field anywhere near as good. They did not bring in the one thing that they desperately need.
And what is that?
A center forward.
Dun, dun, dun.
And the teams in Merseyside, Liverpool here, because we'll get on to the next team here in a second. Neither one of them brought in that number one striker, number one center forward.
Fair enough, but Liverpool has a lot of people that can score.
Okay, but
And
we'll get to them in a
Everton
second.
does not.
Yeah,
But
but
I mean-
we'll get to them in a second. Instead, they brought in Rooney, went back home. Totally understand that, get that. But he's not the striker that he was when he left Everton.
He should have been for
He
the
is now-
fans.
he's now a number 10, a center attacking midfielder.
Yeah.
But they also brought in Gylfi Sigurdsson, which we all thought was good, but you brought in somebody very similar to what Rooney does.
That's a good point.
Right.
He's not complimentary.
Right.
There's no
so
creativity
who do you have
there.
up front right now? You have the guy, Yes, who scored 2 goals last week.
Maybe we call this.
But he's not a consistent striker. They miss those goals. They miss Romelu Lukaku.
Well,
terrible.
Well, maybe this is what we call, if at the January transfer window, they don't go for an adequate striker, they are done. And
I think you will see them go for it.
remember
But
the rumor?
Will Koeman
But what was
be
the rumor?
coach at the
That
time?
made total sense.
Giroud?
That they wanted Giroud. Now, we don't know what happened. Personally, me, as an Arsenal fan, I want Giroud there with Lacazette. But Giroud should have, that actually, and I don't know what happened. It was a rumor that came up. It seemed to make a lot of sense. I don't know if Everton made an offer. Boy, they should have just opened the purse strings, because that would have actually been not an equal to Lacazette, but that would have complemented who they have. Big guy in the middle, get his head on the ball.
Yes, 100% agreed. On the other side of that, we talked about, and we'll talk about it again with the next team. You can't just go out. You can't pin your hopes on one person. You have to have backups to that. And there were backups in the league that were available in the offseason.
There were other people to go for that. Yes.
Fernando Llorente, who went to Chelsea, is backing up. Or no, I'm sorry, he went to Tottenham. Right. Is backing up. You could have gotten him. He would have been great for that system. Andre Gray would have been good for that.
And I think
that
your biggest
system.
thing, you never know.
So there were other options there they could have brought in.
But they didn't
And they brought in
try.
Sandro, who is a good, decent striker, but hasn't played a lick in the Premier League.
So what
yet.
happened with Arsenal at the end of the transfer window is hysterical, because they botched it so poorly. But the reverse is Everton, who didn't try to get that center forward. It's like they got Rooney and we're like, yeah, we're good.
They're also playing.
How long is their coach going to be there?
That's what I mean.
They're also playing crazy formations every week. This week was a 4-2-2-2.
Does it feel a little, the complaints that used to be a bit of Jurgen Klinsmann about the constant experimentation?
Only a little.
It feels like he's trying to figure it out, and he's kind of he has a little bit of, he knows he's on the hot seat there, and is
I
trying
threw
to figure
that
it
name out for a reason.
But his two forwards in the 4-2-2-2 was
Tutu.
was Calvert-Lewin and Nyasi, and they are both the same striker.
They're serviceable though.
They are, but he's got too many players on that team that are the same.
I just really, I don't have as much faith as you. I hope they do something, because there's that feeling, much like I said earlier. You ever had that feeling when you see the guy get the ball and that back third, and you just got this feeling the way the team's moving forward, the goal is going to happen. To me, I'm watching Everton, and they don't get relegated. It's because a team as terrible as Crystal Palace just never moves out of that spot. So it's only, it's only like a really that top of the bottom two, not the three. They don't look at all.
Yeah, but they're not
anything's changing.
They're not going down.
You're going to get rid of Crystal Palace's coach, but you're going to keep Everton's. I mean, I love that Rod Bennett from the Men in Blazers was like, my God, do I miss oh my God, just got his name. No, from freaking the Belgian national team now. He was commentating. I met the guy in New York. Jeez.
Yeah.
Not Rodriguez, not oh gosh. Roberto Martinez.
Yeah.
He's like, boy, do I miss the steel, because the complaint was he had like a defense, like a sieve. He was like, boy, do I miss the steel trap of his defense. I mean, to Everton playing like this to me is a heartbreaker. It's just a club that you love the people, you love the support they have, and I always root for them, whoever they're playing. If they're not playing in Arsenal, just because they're just, I don't know, they're a scrappy club. That you've got Liverpool in this town, and then you've got Everton, and it's kind of fun to if you're obviously not a Liverpool fan, to root for that sort of underdog of the area. It would be abysmal to lose these guys, but if they don't turn something around, because it just doesn't look like they're trying to affect that at all, especially with the transfer window. January, I mean, everybody dreams about that magical January transfer window.
Rarely,
it's always
does a player come in and completely change a team.
But
rarely does.
If you just get a serviceable center forward in this situation, I think it nets you enough points.
No. You don't need a serviceable forward. They already have those.
Right. They need an out-and-out striker.
See, I don't know they're going to get that, though. I just don't. That's the thing. In that January window, that
tinfoil transfers is their new striker is going to be Ancelotti.
Well, here's the thing. Here's how
if they're down at the position they are come January 1st, and they throw enough money at Arsenal, Wenger could sell, because it now shows they're not a threat. And if Giroud's still on the bench as much as he has been, he's made sub appearances and he's playing in Europe and so on and so forth. You could see Wenger sell because he wouldn't consider Everton a rival at that point. Now, it's not to say because he seems to let players go to Manchester United all the time. Yeah. But you could see, but they have to throw enough cash at it. We're talking in the range of 50, 60, which is going to be overpaid for Giroud. But if you
need him,
right? If you need him,
and I would say is Giroud right now in the league, he's probably is he our top striker that isn't like the starting striker right now in the league? I guess that's who you'd go after. A guy that would legitimately make a difference.
Yeah.
I'm not saying other people wouldn't be, but in terms of a guy that on another team would easily start every match, that kind of thing.
Well, Sanchez isn't starting every match.
But that seems to be off of his abdominal.
Could go Batman at Chelsea, possibly.
Abdominal, injury that he had that we thought he just was saying because he was going to get traded out or whatever. So that's a weird situation. I'm with you on that. But I don't know
he's probably up there. Man City was playing both of theirs for a while.
Well, like last year, Aguero wasn't starting.
Fernando Llorente would probably be the two that I would say are legitimate starters that aren't getting the time because there's somebody else better.
I don't. It's just tough.
Front of them.
They don't have a lot of options, and if they do have options, they're probably going to have to look elsewhere in Europe, possibly too. If it's not like a Giroud, and you know what? I mean, I don't know that Arsenal without a lot of chunk of change is going to.
But I mean, Everton can bring in a Edin Dzeko, a Merrim Mandzukic. They can bring in these players that are with their clubs that aren't really necessarily getting. I mean, Dzeko is for Roma. Mandzukic, you may be able to get, and that's the kind of player they need. They need a center forward, not necessarily a striker.
No. What if like a Benteke or something gets healthy? And Crystal Palace knows they're going to get relegated. They'll take the money to try and rebuild.
I think Benteke from a few years ago, you go after him, but now he's been hurt too much. He's not as consistent as he was. So no, I don't think you go after it. I mean, I think you'd be just
agree.
pissing away.
I don't think the money's worth it. I think you go after someone like Giroud,
right,
instead of Benteke.
I'm just saying, January comes if they don't, and it is very hard to find that magical player at that time.
I'm willing to bet.
I think they're going to be a lot. I think there will be in a relegation.
I don't think they find a striker during the.
I don't either.
Some of the
not one
winter.
that they want.
It's a relegation fight. They're going to be in one.
That's too early.
And I think it's going to be worse than Leicester's. Last year, Leicester kind of was from. Hey, man, I'm saying it. Let me have a little sip of the rum here. I'm going to say it again.
You keep having that rum there. You keep thinking that there.
Rum makes Blake bold.
The last game of the weekend.
Stay frosty, my friends. I love Ryan got busted on that.
Yeah, he did.
Stay frosty. Stay thirsty.
I liked Frosty way better.
I like Frosties. I don't like Stay Frosty.
I hear frosty. All I can think of is the film Aliens. Stay frosty, Apone.
I think of Wendy's. That's all I think of.
With a shotgun. What's that for? Close Encounters. I heard that. That's all I can think of is Aliens. Stay frosty.
Newcastle United versus Liverpool.
God, Everton Burnley was way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be, though, of a conversation.
Says the guy who had a fifth of rum.
Exactly.
Not a fifth. A fifth of the fifth. Let's be fair. And a couple of beers while I was cooking the ribs. Guys, back off. You need beers to like wet the ribs with, and then what you don't, you drink the rest. And it's a well-known fact.
Newcastle won.
Tips with Blake.
That's our new Brewtiful cooking. I couldn't think of anything.
Brewtiful cooking with the Braswell.
I would say Brewtiful baking, but I don't bake.
Brewtiful beer basting.
Brewtiful beer basting. There's a mouthful.
That's don't search that.
Yeah, I know.
Do not search that. We can't guarantee what you'll find
Or
on the dark web.
Search that. Newcastle won. Liverpool won. Kind of a game.
I mean,
a good game for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Great game. A great point for Newcastle.
Dude, Liverpool, get a friggin' defense. This is ridiculous.
Coutinho's magic needs to make a defense appear now because a magical goal from him in this game. That's what he.
Oh, it was.
That's why you
beautiful.
keep him, and that's what he does. That's like, I mean, yes, fantastic player. But they have no defense. And they also don't have a center forward there.
And dude, not even
Daniel Sturridge isn't that. They have a lot of wingers and fast and Salah and Mane and all these people that run around and are very quick and can score goals. But Firmino's not a center forward. I know he's classified as one.
They're
but
not
he's
consistent.
No.
All these speedy players that can zip around.
And they can't stop the ball from going in the back of their own net.
But by God, don't you dare fire Klopp, because he makes me happy.
No, I don't think he's in any danger, but
no.
I think you have to point the finger to him now and go,
yes,
why haven't you signed
You just said something
like
interesting that ties into our previous conversation. They're lacking that center forward too. So if someone's going to snag it in that section of the UK, Liverpool's got way more money to back up as to why Everton is also in trouble in that situation. If there is a magical striker available in January.
Well, and I'm not saying that's probably second or third on their list of needs. First on their list of needs is
a defense.
Actually, a defense. They need somebody back there that can partner consistently with Matip. And then they need a holding midfielder that can play next to Jordan.
And let's be honest, guys,
Henderson that
we're
can help
only talking about making
balls, getting just in space and picking apart their back four.
But if you made their defense, 35% better than it is now, these guys are on top of the league. They are so prolific at scoring. They have so many scorers. They should be phenomenal. And they should be making the run. It should be Man City, Man U, and freaking Liverpool running at that top.
And we thought that after they beat Arsenal 4-0, but you don't have anybody that can stop the ball going in the back of their own net, and that includes a goalie. They don't have a goalie as well. That's probably third on the list, or second on the list.
Dude, that could be more than third.
He keeps going back and forth between goalies. Stick with one and play him. Or come out and do what Jose did last year. De Gea, you are our league goalie. You will play every single game in the Premier League this year.
They should, you know what they should go for?
You are going to play every game in the Europa League. Come out and say that and do it now. But going back and forth are hurting these two guys. Goalie, you need a consistent run of games. You need confidence. One of the big things with playing goalie is confidence. They don't have that because of what Klopp is doing back and forth.
You know, they should go for in the January window.
Klopp here a little bit.
We keep talking about slinging money at Arsenal. They should go sling some money for Ospina.
I don't know. I don't know that Ospina. I don't think he's better than Mignolet.
No. Oh, I do. Absolutely do. You watch him play on his national team, and when he does play, look, I'd rather have Czech in the box than Ospina.
They should have never gotten rid of
Ospina. Athletic. I would take him over either of their goalies they have right now.
I don't know. I think Mignolet is way better tactically than Ospina is. And I think if
he tactically understands why he was scored on after he was scored on. I agree with you.
I think if they left Mignolet in long enough to help command a defense that was actually a good defense, then because they didn't have as many problems last year when they had a better defense with Mignolet in.
But they had a slightly better defense, to be fair. It still wasn't great. They still had the same problem of they needed to, I don't need to sound like John Madden. They had to score more than the other people. But what I mean by that is they had to score 3 goals to 2. Like they always had to score way more because they still didn't have a great defense last year.
Go out and get, I mean, you can get, who's the guy for Stoke? Jack Butlin. Be fantastic there.
Butlin.
They should have
fun to say.
We're at that point in the drinking.
Oh, it's Butlin. Come on. Every time they say it, it's like Butland. I don't know. Really?
It's like what?
Funny. Butland. Oh, Butland.
We got to wrap this up.
Just have some more rum.
I'm out of rum and I'm out of beer. You need to pass another round.
Let's finish this game and I'll pass another round of beer. Jack Butlin.
You said it again.
Yes, I did. Okay. Jack is a name, is one they should have signed. Tom Heaton they could have signed. The dude that gets pumped in the tunnels and used to have a good stash.
Joe Hart?
Joe Hart they could have signed. Those are all names of goalies they could have gone out and get.
But Joe Hart is having a struggle bus too.
I don't know. I think you can put any keeper in there. You could put the greatest keeper in history in there.
True, yeah.
And if their back 4 is terrible, he doesn't have that much help.
Right.
So, yes, he's going to make some decent saves, but he's not going to be able to stop everything.
Right.
So, to be honest, their keeper, Mignolet, is a decent keeper. They have nobody in the back 4. Has anyone ever heard of Joel Matip? Anybody heard of him? Do you know where he plays right now?
Where does he play?
Yeah.
Where does he play?
He presumably plays in the back defense line of Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah. Who?
Well,
That's my point.
Yeah. No, for me, he's the only name that I know back there right now.
Gomez has been
you know who I would go after?
Making rash challenges all season. He's constantly caught out of space. Lovren's the one for me in their defense that is probably making the smartest decisions over Matip or Moreno or Gomez. But it's a one-man fight.
Well, you know what it kind of reminds me of, just in terms of the back line there, of our own team here.
Oh, back in Orlando?
Correct.
Yeah.
Matip's like the Jonathan Spector, but who are you going to partner him with? He hasn't had necessarily a consistent partner all year, except for the beginning of the year here. You have to find somebody that will partner with him because that's your number one defensive player.
He's your
But you can't have people just going in and out of next to him. You're not going to get any sort of partnership, any sort of consistency there. You need to find that person. And they should have found that in the summer.
For me,
they have the cash
as a fan of soccer, the only reason I'm passionate about this conversation is when Liverpool is so fun to watch under Klopp being so prolific at scoring, despite the fact of a true striker. This team should be so much fun to watch week to week. And instead, this season, it's just the same joke of their inability to stop anything from coming through.
I agree.
Would you like another beer?
And I would want another beer because if Jurgen Klopp was here, he would say, yeah, another beer. I'm just saying, with his big teeth laughing.
What is happening, Ferris?
I don't know, guys. Look, I'm just saying. I was good to
Joined
go.
our whisper.
I didn't. I was good to go. Then I put the ribs on at 3:30 with my in-laws. We're just hanging out, and then I was like, awkward moment when you're like, man, it's my day off, but it's in-laws here. I just really want to have a drink, and I keep asking the father-in-law, hey, you want to? No, I'm fine right now because I know he likes whiskey. I'm like, a little whiskey. You want a whiskey and ginger? And he just won't say yes. And then like at 4:30, he finally said yes, and I was like, thank God. I'm a day off. I haven't had a day off that's like this. I'm just out here smoking some ribs, sitting by the pool. I just want to have some drinks. So I made up for it over the course. Every time I went back in the house to like get the mop juice that I was going to put on the ribs, I made another drink so no one saw it. I'm just gonna tap this little guy off a little bit of ginger beer, a little bit of rum. Yeah,
Awesome.
So I just apologize, but I don't really. It was a good day off. Woohoo!
Awesome. Well, I think we should talk some NWSL match week 24.
Guys, I don't want to say anything other than Pride playoffs. It's the playoffs for the Pride. Ooh, yeah. John Raphael in the house.
Woo, I'm ready to sing now.
So happy and proud of our Orlando Pride for fighting into a guaranteed playoff space.
Can you not fight quite as hard though?
You know what though?
Well, no.
Exciting.
The reason I say that though is we don't have to go to Portland, the most hostile place in the NWSL, on Saturday.
We can do
it. No, they can. They absolutely can, and they're on a good run of form, and it's confidence.
Yeah, but how about
and
that
I'm
last
100%
minute?
behind the Pride. Portland's not an easy place to
No.
go, and we saw them here 2 weeks ago. They are a very,
Can we back
very
up a
good
second
football
though?
team.
Let's talk about losing 2-1 to the top team, the Courage, and then in the last minute drawing that up in North Carolina away.
No,
Did you guys-
it was drawn, and then we won it.
Oh,
in
sorry.
the last
I
minute.
did the reverse. Drawn. It was done 1 point and then won it in the very last off of everybody assuming Marta's going to take this kick.
Yeah.
That is not who takes the
Well,
kick.
and if you go to the games and you watch, if you watch their pregame stuff, Kennedy and Camilla are the two primary free kick takers. There, so yes, it was a little bit of surprise you didn't see Marta pop up, but with that range out, Kennedy has a stronger foot in terms of she can get a little bit more pace on the ball quickly towards goal than Marta can. Marta has more of the finesse curve, over, up, down, curve
But I think
into the goal.
that's why I thought Marta would be the one to take that. Though.
Right.
But that free kick was gorgeous.
Which essentially North Carolina Courage are top of the league right now. 24 games played, 49.
Oh, no, this is the final standings.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Before we go into the playoffs, like Ferris said,
Playoffs.
Playoffs.
you sound just like him.
He does it so. That's why the reason I said it. He does it so well.
North Carolina Courage,
You set me up and
24 games.
playoffs.
I'm losing.
Woodville, California.
I'm slowly
Pumpkin
losing
beer's still tasty.
Oh yeah,
control
it is,
of this
man.
podcast.
Good
Lost
stuff from you
control.
So North Carolina Courage, 24 games played, goal differential of 16 on top at 49 points. And that's who Orlando ends up beating in North Carolina with that Kennedy stoppage time goal, which was brilliant. Kristen Edmonds had the 22-minute goal. Marta had a 51-minute goal. Lynn Williams on the Carolina Courage had one basically more or less back-to-back, 62nd minute and then a 67th minute PK. Orlando just riding high going into the playoffs.
Securing third
Third spot.
in the playoffs.
Yep.
Yeah. What a just clutch. Oh, man. And
And
Ron, you
great,
had
great down the stretch.
You had a
Great down the
chance
stretch.
to go. I mean, obviously, North Carolina, not a new team in its location, not new coming out of the Flash last year, but you had a chance to go to North Carolina early in the season when the
Right.
Pride were playing. What's the atmosphere there like?
The atmosphere is pretty cool over there. It's been getting better as the season goes.
I would love to have gone to that one.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, gosh, yeah.
There in the beginning of the season, there were not as many people in the stands as there are now. So because they're an amazing team and they're winning, the attendance has skyrocketed over the season. And a few things also help with that. The lifetime coverage, which has been great all season, really helped with that. Also the Go 90.
The Go 90, I think we kind of complained about it in the beginning, but it was actually turned to be pretty decent.
Yeah, I think they leveled out pretty well. So the atmosphere is pretty cool. It's a very nice stadium, surrounded by really nice trees, and it's a very open air stadium. So there's constantly a breeze. It
Plays the beauty of North. I'm a bias, but I'm being from North Carolina. But it plays the beauty of Eastern North Carolina very well.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. And it's such a nice part of Raleigh. So, Cary, really, next to Raleigh. it's just a beautiful place to go. That whole area is amazing. So Carolina is going to be they're going to be a force, I think, in the playoffs. But I don't know. I think because Portland has home field advantage, they're going to be the ones that'll be the hardest throughout the playoffs.
Right, which is why I say if we had we drawn this game, we would be playing North Carolina, which I think we match up a little bit better against.
Right.
Bring it, bro.
Portland is tough. They are tough for any team. They have the most hostile crowd. No, I don't think
we got the most hostile
we're
player.
Up there.
And her name is Marta.
They have
it's on like Donkey Kong and a pot of Nagbon. I am so excited.
I agree.
Ferris' eyeballs got a little bit.
Very excited. You just scared me because you went like wide-eyed.
Man, you guys just think of like
boom.
We're gonna be super biased in this portion of the podcast. Orlando, playoffs did not look like a thing.
No, in the beginning of the season, we were not doing well.
And to end third, man, so proud of this team.
Oh, absolutely. They've had a wonderful season. They are clicking all cylinders, and that's why I think we have a great chance of winning the game. But it's not going to be easy going to Portland.
You're right.
I also think, watch out, the Red Stars can come up and nip Carolina. You okay there, Ron?
Yeah, coughed.
You coughed while you were drinking a beer. It was the weirdest noise. It sounded like Tim. What's his name on the old Carol Burnett show? Tim
Conway.
Tim Conway. When the two elephants with the noses connected with a snurf. That's what you sound like. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the
really, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't want to look it up.
After this podcast, I'm going to show it to you, and you're going to pee your pants.
Oh my God!
Tim Conway,
you pulled out Carol Burnett.
The two elephants with the noses connected. Every time they sneeze, he goes, that's what he said. That's what he said. We got a Carol Burnett reference in this episode, which is great because I don't think an 80s reference happened. So we
you got a few.
We went late 70s.
And if you're 80s. In your mid 20s and you don't know who Carol Burnett is, shame on you. Go look it up.
Go look it up. Although to be fair, side rant, can we please release those on DVD in season and Blu-ray? They've not done that yet.
Almost all of them are on not Netflix, YouTube.
They are.
So look it up.
Yeah.
Comedy gold.
Ferris is looking at us weird, but you're going to laugh your butt off when we show you that tonight.
Oh, I'm sure I will be.
So I'm going to run down the scores here.
Oh, hold on, real quick. Sorry.
You're killing me.
I think, we went off on a Carol Burnett tangent here, and I'm killing you?
Hey, whoa, buddy. Carol Burnett always gets her own tangent. You just relax.
I was going to run down the scores so we could talk about everything else that there is to talk about in the NWSL.
The pride being in the playoffs. Because Alex Morgan came back from France and she's kicking butt.
Playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
Portland Thorns. This is what happens when we drink.
Oh, man. We've lost Ferris. Oh, God. I wish I could do how to make remixes on a tape or on GarageBand. I would make one out of that.
Portland Thorns 3, Chicago Red Stars 1. A kind of a interesting match in the respect that I kind of expected the Red Stars to hold up a little better against the Thorns attack, but the Red Stars defense just couldn't come up with it. Washington Spirit 2, Seattle Reign 3. Really great brace again by Jess Fishlock, who is one of the better amazing players in this entire league.
And Mallory Pugh brace in this game too.
Oh, correct, for the Washington Spirit. Boston Breakers 3, Sky Blue FC 4. Kelly O'Hara, my chocolate milk friend, scores in this one. We did Carolina Courage 2, Orlando Pride 3, and then the FC Kansas City 1 versus Houston Dash, also 1. They drew that one.
Rachel Daly's had herself a fantastic year, though.
She has had an amazing year, and kind of quietly.
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, the Dash weren't really talked about a lot this year. They've kind of been in that 8th, 9th, 7th range all year. But, yeah, she's had herself an awesome year. The point I was going to make earlier was Red Stars play, let's run that. So, Portland play, or Orlando City go to Portland on Saturday the 7th, 3:30 p.m. on Lifetime. Sunday, North Carolina hosts Chicago Red Stars, again, 3:30 on Lifetime. That's Sunday the 8th. North Carolina has to be careful here. The Red Stars could nip in and come out with a 1-0, 2-1 win. Red Stars are no joke.
Correct.
And I think they're okay with sitting in fourth there. And we very well could see them play here in the NWSL championship the following week.
I think if they can lock down the sneaky attacking play of the Red Stars, if the Courage can lock that down, then I don't think they'll have as big a problem. But Carolina couldn't contain Orlando very much. So they're going to have a little bit of trouble with.
Which is why I wanted to play North Carolina again, because I think we match up just a little bit
But you know what,
better with
though?
them.
I got confidence. We're on a roll.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We're clicking on all cylinders when you need to at the right time.
So who do you think is going to be in the NWSL championship?
Oh, Orlando City. Or not Orlando City. Orlando Pride. Sorry.
And?
Doesn't matter. We'll win. Oh, bam. Dropped it.
I'll go Orlando City and Chicago Red
Orlando
Stars.
Pride. You and I both did that.
Oh, good.
I know. I'm sorry. It was my fault.
Actually,
it's so hard to say.
It's neither.
Pride Stars
Pride.
in Orlando 2 weeks from now. Be there. Be square.
It's actually Ferris's fault. What? Because in the show notes you have Portland Thorns versus Orlando City.
Yay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're just reading the show notes.
Here's the thing. It's because we love
that's
our
true.
city, Orlando, guys. It's not because we keep messing up with the Orlando City Soccer Club.
No,
It's just hard to say.
Orlando
Pride.
I'm gonna say it's Orlando City versus Carolina Courage.
And guys, here's the thing too, and I know that like we are, man. I hope we.
No, it's good. Yeah,
that would be a fantastic lineup.
that would be.
And here's the reason why. For me being here in Orlando, loving the Pride, I want the Pride to go to the championship. The championship is also the NWSL championship this year is in Orlando.
Regardless if the Pride
Absolutely,
are there,
it's in Orlando.
we'll be there.
We don't. I want this to happen so bad to help solidify the female side of the sport here in Orlando.
I agree.
Selfishly, and I know you would say that about any city, but Orlando comes out and they support the Orlando City Soccer Club very well. And there are a lot of, I'll say this, the people that come to the Pride games are some of the most passionate people I have ever met. They are so proud of that team. Man, I just want to see those ladies march into their home stadium for a championship game.
And win it.
I couldn't agree more. And I've told people for the past 2 years, I have so much more enjoyed going to the Pride games than I have the men's games. By far, much more.
To the point,
we have all been a season ticket holder for the past 2 years, which is the past 2 years they've been in existence. They're so much more enjoyable. We did.
We moved our seats to where the ladies come out so we can actually see them, yell at them, scream at them, cheer them on. I'm so excited, man.
Being with the crown in the wall has been a blast this year. And if they make it to the championship game, I will be where I have been the entire season, right behind goal, first row, guaranteed. But I've enjoyed going and seeing those games so much more because the game is better. The game is played so much better. It is played so technical. It is played with style. It is played with grace. They don't flop around and roll around when they get fouled. They play tough. You're seeing superstars every single week.
What was that a few weeks ago?
In front of you. It's a fun product they put out there. You should support them. You should see them. Enjoy it. The games are more relaxed than the men's game. It's a great atmosphere, a great club. Regardless, if you're in Boston, if you're in Washington, go see a game. I guarantee you will have a good time and you will enjoy it.
You say relaxed, but what I think you mean by that is not to imply that like it's a chill time. It's that, unfortunately, with the MLS side, you are, oh my gosh, hey, we scored, but any second we could screw this up. Whereas when you're watching the Pride play, there is just a more confident in the overall technical skill from everybody on the pitch. That
I agree. I also think the speed of the game overall is not as fast, but the pace of the game is way faster than the men's. Because
there's more actual, pardon me, something the MLS does not know about, completed passes.
Completed passes.
Completed passes. They know how to do that. What was that? Was it 3 or 4 weeks ago? That goal that just mind blowing. Was it Krieger? The crazy kick from way before midfield right to Morgan's foot. And
Krieger
boom.
had one and Catley had one a few weeks back that was precision. And
It was
Alex
Catley's.
Morgan is one of the most purest strikers of the ball
But that
in
ball
the game,
landed
men or
at
women.
her
period.
feet, though.
Yes,
I mean that is the
Catley
thing. Like
placed it with the perfect weight, right on her foot.
Catley is amazing.
Morgan catches it on the volley and just crushes it.
Such technical skill and precision.
One of the best goals I've ever seen her score was right in front of me when this ball over the top and it's coming right for her head, and she just does this effortless little move to the side of just her head. The ball comes over, it bounces, she takes it off the volley and puts it right in the back of the net. It's just brilliant.
Well, one of the things that I want to say about Alex is, and me, Tony Sounds Good, and Caitlin at FX Tech, is that correct? We had a convo on this at the men's game this past week, and then we watched the Pride that night. But what people don't necessarily know or see about Alex, they see that she is World Cup goals and she's a wonderful athlete, and she's on NBC and ABC morning news shows and yada yada yada. That's fantastic, and that's all for the number of balls that she puts in back of the net. But what people don't see and don't necessarily understand so much, and why I say it's such a technical game, is her work rate off the ball is phenomenal. She works so hard off the ball. She's tough. She puts in tackles. She holds the ball up. She'll play a pass. She hits the slots great. Her movement is so well off the ball that she helps create for the team.
She's made the
it's
things
not just
around
about her.
She made the plays around her elevate.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is more to how phenomenal she is than just the goals that she has put in the back of the net.
Wouldn't you say it's different this year?
It's different in the fact that she's having a more consistent run, because you remember last year, it was international break, not World Cup, Olympics, and it was just a spotty year all around. We've had a pretty consistent run of games, and Alex, even when she come back in June or July, she's had a consistent run of games.
I'm sorry, my brain still just melts the fact that we can go down the road and see Alex Morgan and Allie Krieger and Ashlyn Harris play in our freaking stadium.
Marta.
And Marta, oh my God, Steph Catley.
You are seeing Marta and Alex will probably go down as maybe 1-2 A-B best in the world to ever play the game in the women's game, and in my book, probably top 10 to ever play the game in general. Go and watch them. You'll understand what I mean. Marta's vision, her footwork, phenomenal.
And
Alex movement off the ball, her shot, phenomenal.
Did we talk about her article? The article that Marta wrote about...
I don't know if we ever...
Yeah, we did.
Did we? Oh, man, if no one's read it...
We talked about it before the pod. I don't know if we talked about it on the pod.
We got to share it again. But
we talked about it before, it's a couple of weeks ago.
But her story of how she, from a child to playing pro soccer, man, just the talent that we get the ability to go see is mind-blowing.
As well as the talent that comes to us to play.
Well, we're sitting there complaining about Portland because they're so good, but on the same token, they come here, I'm like, sweet, I get to see these people play because they're
Tobin
amazing.
Heath, Haran, Long, I mean, the one that you just said.
Kelly O'Hara.
Yes,
Press.
she was here. I mean, you see it every single week in the
Megan Rapinoe. We got to see Pino play.
Even look at your teams that are in the lower half of the table. Spirit, you get to see Mallory Pugh, a bright young talent who's going to be a phenomenal
future. We're talking about Alex Morgan. Pugh is that next person. That's
Boston.
who that's,
Rose Lavelle, our noir star. Fantastic. Natasha Downey, they're players that play for Boston. Dash, have Daly, Ojai, Lloyd. There's players all from top to bottom that you can see every single week. If you're in one of these areas, or even if you're not, come down here to Orlando, go to a theme park, go see a Pride game.
Hang out with us and watch a Pride game, man.
We'd love to join you for you come down, next season, you come down for a game, I will buy you a beer.
Hey, come down to a playoff or a championship match this season, I'll buy you one. Because we do run the ability, potentially, to have some playoff games here, too, depending on how it plays out.
What? Not this year, we don't.
No, we don't.
No.
Well, no,
we just have the final game. No.
Is it only the final?
We have to win, and then they will be back here on the 14th.
Well...
That's it.
Because how does the breakdown work?
There's only 4 teams that out of the 10 teams. Only 4 teams that make the playoffs.
There's no math that makes it so.
Fourth place. It's awesome. It's just simple. Everybody can understand it.
No, I just thought there was some math that if a particular team won, that possibly we'd have home field.
We would know. I think there was no hope of that going into
the season's
final
over.
game.
Yeah.
But fourth place first, second place third, which is where we're at. First and second have the home field advantages, which is North Carolina and Portland, which you said. So unless we have to win in order for us to see them again this
And that being said,
season.
if the Pride were to lose and it's like North Carolina and Portland,
we'll still be there.
I'm there.
Oh, 100%.
Holy
100%.
crap.
Still be there.
It's still a great
You
match.
know what's even better? That day, October 14th, you know what the first Premier League game back is at?
No.
Was it?
Manchester United and Liverpool, 7:30 a.m.
So we get to go.
This game's
we
at
can watch
3:30.
that and do the what's the date?
So we get to
October 14th at 3:30 p. or maybe it's at 4 o'clock p.m. will be the championship game.
we
here in Orlando.
get to watch Liverpool upset Manchester United.
At work, we
No, I never
desperately
said that.
tried to attempt to buy a suite for the NWSL championship, and it was unavailable.
Yeah.
We like, as soon as they released, and it was not. We were trying to get everybody together to like grab one. It didn't
And
work.
I think right now we're holding off. Just we're going, but we're if the Pride make it, I don't know about you, but I'm going to be in the wall. Right. If they don't, we'll pick seats somewhere else. Right.
Or just wherever. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Is that still the plan?
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh man, I
can't wait.
It's been a great season. What an amazing fight to get into the playoffs. From where they started to where they ended up. And again, it's not like they limped into this spot. They got hot at the right time to get into this. So all bets are off. This should be an exciting postseason for the NWSL.
And come the end of it all, I think we'll have Caitlin back on the pod. Recap the year. We all made predictions at the start of the year. We'll see where we're at then. But we'll have her kind of talk more about the season, in a whole.
Oh yeah, we'll do a good NWSL wrap up. Absolutely.
We're not quite there because we still have a lot of room to go.
I think Orlando City could learn by watching
By far.
Orlando Pride.
No questions.
Let's take a step back and say that MLS could learn. Well, that's another pod. I was about to start a conversation.
We'd be going on for days.
That's another one. That's
But
another
you know what
one.
I'm excited about for this weekend?
What's that?
USA versus Panama.
On Friday, the three of us will be at Orlando City Stadium, which is super cool. Our first U.S. men's national team match, and it's a World Cup qualifier.
In a huge World
big
Cup
one.
qualifier.
Now,
A big
but
one.
here's the thing: I'm not as excited about that. Because,
I am.
Well, no, I mean,
gonna be a great
I'm
atmosphere.
excited to be there, and the fact that is important. But I really hate that we have put ourselves in the position for the game to be so damn important. I think the conversation is, what do we think of the roster? Because that's the buzz.
Smart.
Online.
I think Bruce has played it safe. He's played
Okay.
it smart. In goal, you have Brad Guzan, Tim Howard, Nick Raimondo. Odds are we will see Tim Howard start in goal here. I don't see that any other way. Defenders, he brought in DeMarcus Beasley, Matt Beasler, Jeff Cameron, Omar Gonzalez, Michael Orozco, Tim Ream, Jorge Villafana, DeAndre Yedlin back in the squad, but he's playing very good for Newcastle now.
Yes,
Great.
actually,
and Graham
absolutely.
Zuzi. In midfield, Kellen Acosta, Juan Aguadello, Paul Areola, Alejandro Bedoya, Michael Bradley, Benny Fellhaber is the only surprise
Benny
in
Hill?
this. No. No. Benny Fellhaber, who has been brought in instead
Thank you
of
for riding with
Fabian
me on
Johnson. I got you. Instead of Fabian Johnson, but I like the Benny Fellhaber here. Dax McCarty coming back to Orlando.
Orlando.
The Winter
Yep.
Park boy, or Winter Springs. It was one of the
Winter
winners.
Park was Zusi.
Springs.
Have that wrong?
Somebody
it's
was
Springs.
Longwood. Longwood is Zuzi.
Anyways,
Park, yeah.
he's
a
coming back
local
home.
boy.
You'll probably see him come in the second half. Darlington Dagby, Christian Pulisic, and
Wait, who's the guy after Nagby?
Christian Pulisic.
Well, who?
Christian P. And
Hashtag
Joshy
poor
Zardes in the midfield. And forwards, again, just Altidore, Dempsey, Wando, and Bobby Wood. Very safe,
Who do you think starts in those
lineup.
forwards?
Altidore and Bobby Wood.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree. And then the power substitute is
Right,
Mr.
which I think
Dempsey.
that's his
Yeah.
role now, and I think
Yeah.
that would be great to see.
And
I think in the
it's a
midfield
good- yeah.
you see a Acosta, Bradley, Nagby, Pulisic midfield.
If we get to see
With a-
Pulisic play
Yeah,
Ron, you and I
cool,
lived
man.
and worked in Manheim, Pennsylvania forever. The fact this kid is from there blows my mind.
And he just had a
He is playing-
birthday the week that we missed a pod. He had his 19th birthday. What were you doing at 19?
Trying not to fail college algebra.
I was in 19. I was falling out of buildings and being set on fire.
And what
That sounds a lot
on
more
purpose.
exciting than any.
On
Yeah,
purpose.
but that was on purpose.
That was
yeah.
a bad. That was a, yeah, that question had. But yeah,
Ron just basically shamed you and me as to having a way cooler
Exactly.
19th year.
Exactly.
What were you doing? Because Ron was falling out of buildings on fire. That's almost as cool as Christian P.
Oh,
Oh,
I was not ready to go to college. Getting into trouble. I don't really know what I was doing at the time. I don't remember.
That's a lie. He
oh
knows.
well, Ron won.
No, absolutely.
Right,
Ron
absolutely.
won. I'm dead last in that. I was in between. I think I was still in high school at 19. I think I had late. I was going right in between the
Ferris
first.
just won. If he was still in high
I'm
school,
trying to think where the hell I was at.
Ferris
No, I
just
think it was
won.
my first year of college, which means it was probably very foggy and grades weren't great and a lot of alcoholic beverages.
At 19, no.
Allegedly.
No, you were not.
Allegedly.
Until you were 21.
Allegedly. You're right. I was a good Catholic boy. I didn't do any of that.
Okay, side note. When we do a beer-centric pod, we need to talk about the first beer we ever had, and we each bring in 3 of the
Okay.
first beer we ever had.
I love it.
Oh, this is great.
I love that idea.
This is great. We'll do a more beer-centric pod, maybe because of an international break or something. We each bring in 3 of the first beer we ever. Oh God, ugh.
This is going to be terrible.
And we talk about them. You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. This just became.
Can I even get that beer anymore?
Well, we won't do it like next week because we got to do some research. We'll
Yeah.
see what we can get.
Okay.
I love
Okay,
this
okay,
idea.
okay.
Sorry, that's just side note.
Okay. But
I love it when a plan comes together. Got my 80s reference in.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. 80s reference in for Blake. Right off. Oh, man.
God.
You guys should always come here after I've been grilling all day long.
absolutely. This is a lot of fun now. I'm into this. I was kind of like, I don't know what the hell's going on earlier, but I'm into this now.
I can't believe I can still get this beer.
Oh, you get it? Okay,
Yes.
cool. This is
All right,
happening.
man. I like that idea.
We'll
This
count down to this.
This is going to take the finish off your car.
Maybe.
I swore, Blake.
Hated.
I said
I was trying to
holy-
write it down because
I
it was
said
it was
holy.
real.
Oh, man. Now I'm at like 4 of these
Ron
bleeps.
said, "Holy shit!"
You guys are jerks.
That bleep is going to be so long.
It's going to be so long.
I'm like $10 for that bleep.
Genius.
The notes I'm writing are 3 of them plus Ferris singing.
You can bleep the entire thing.
No. This will be fun. I'm glad I've got tomorrow morning.
Oh, I think we're giddy because we're just so excited that we get to see U.S. Men's National, a huge game.
well, we
this
just were
Friday.
talking about the Pride, dude. The
Right.
men's national team playing
Excitement.
here at Orlando. We're so excited. I think it looks like now all 3 of us can actually go. We got tickets thinking
Yes.
we didn't know what combination of any of us may be able to go. I think it was a good thought if we Ferris and 2 other people because Ron and I, between work, him traveling, and this is awesome. Looks like I think we can all go. We got some other friends joining us now who just found some tickets near us.
And we also have the World Soccer Talk guys will be there, as well as the Garage Soccer Talk guys will be there.
Oh, let's
and
talk about
then-
the next day.
And
The next day.
Well, I believe they're also going to the game, so I don't know if we can meet up with them at some point before, during, after the game. But then the next day, Blake.
Yes, the next day, I want to make sure I get this right, so just bear with me here. The Ruckus, the Orlando City, one of the Orlando City supporter groups, as well as the Orlando Spurs. So I'm totally going to wear my Arsenal jersey that day. On the Saturday, the October 7th, at McGinty's Irish Pub, Saturday, October 7th, and there's more details on their Facebook event about the Garage Soccer guys. I don't know how to explain this. When I say it, you're going to think it's like foosball or something. It's not. It's like this kind of tactical tabletop game where it's garage soccer that you play. I'm excited to learn about it. I'm going to try to get there for work. I don't know if I can. Ferris, you're definitely available.
I'll definitely be there. Ron, will you be there?
Ron's going. So two of the 3 will at least be there. World Soccer Talk and the one of the Kartik. I can always say it wrong. You say it. I say his name wrong all the time.
I have to say, it's Kartik.
There you go. That's how it's written down. I tried to help out. Why did I give it to Ferris? He's the worst at saying names.
You're right.
Usually he says the hard names
No,
better.
I know it.
We sound like jerks now.
Christopher Harris and Kartik. So sorry, Kartik.
Kartik, Krish Nair.
Both of them
Close.
are on the World
I'm a jerk.
Soccer Talk podcast.
Because I listen to
They've
the
been doing it for a long
podcast
time.
all
Yes.
the time.
I do too, and I don't remember how he says it. I don't want to try to butcher it to where I'm completely getting it wrong. But them are fantastic. Kartik works with the NASL or used to work for the USL. Works for one of those leagues as well.
Boy, we're getting all
We're
the
excited
information
to
right, aren't we?
meet them both. Yeah, we're excied to meet them both. Both of them do the podcast, the World Soccer Talk podcast.
Which
you can
we
listen to that.
Interviewed
Please
Chris Harris
download
a
that.
few
Yes.
ago. But October 7th, again, in McGinty's Irish Pub. The details are on their Facebook event site. If you look up Garage Soccer, which you can also find at on Twitter, I believe, at Garage Soccer.
I'm sure we'll put it in the show notes.
Absolutely. But there'll be some fun times if you're in town. And if you're not the next day, look, if you live nearby, I know we have a lot of Florida listeners. I hope with the opportunity of having a U.S. men's national team game that is a freaking World Cup qualifier that is hella important, that you will be coming into Orlando. If you are coming to watch the match, oh my gosh, like hit us up on Twitter. Let us know before the match or after the match. We'll go to a pub. Well, I probably gonna be both. But let us know, man. Especially if there's any friends from Florida around the area that are going to come to watch the match, we can actually hang out with before or after. That would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm sure our pockets will be stuffed with our koozies.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Well,
we
koozies?
have a million of them.
And then Saturday, Blake, one more time.
McGinty's Irish Pub on October 7th, Garage Soccer. Boom. It's going to be a good time.
I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Man, what a great friggin' time to be a soccer fan in Central Florida. Oh my gosh, so much going on. I'm so excited.
I don't know. Ferris,
I'm making.
Ferris is all bad
making
over there.
faces.
We're trying to figure out this this thing the kids call Instagram nowadays, the technology, and doing the stories thing because we want you guys to see, not just hear us, but kind of see the craziness that happens and trying to have some fun and
to
get
be
out there
fair,
more.
You hear most of the craziness because I edit. I bleeped out Ferris's foul language. And that's
Yeah,
about
Ferris.
it. I don't really edit
Ron
much
throwing
out of this
F-bombs
show.
last week, and I get blamed. Yeah, you're right.
Well, then, hey, look, he gets 1 to your 10. That's okay. But you guys hear a good. You hear what it's
hear
like.
it. You hear pretty much all of it. All Blake does is edit it to make it sound better in your ears.
Yeah. I try to make it sound pleasant.
Right. Puts in the beats.
She does a
and that's it.
phenomenal job at.
But
I want to apologize for how much we have talked over each other in this pod because
you know what though? It's exciting. It's fun.
We're not professionals, ladies and gentlemen. We're not. We are 3 dudes who like beer, like soccer, and want to just talk about it.
this entire podcast has been us talking over each other.
Well,
Unscripted, unedited.
Even when I was apologizing to the audience, you talked over me.
That was the point.
oh
That
man,
was the point.
we wanted to be authentic, I think is the word we're looking for. But I do want to, because to talk about the reviews again, and I want to on this point say something. One of my favorite reviews.
What do you want to say, Blake?
I enjoyed all of them, but there's something about our buddy Callie, who I believe up in Boston. She sent this review. She said, "Fun and fresh coverage of the BPL, MLS, and NWSL with special love for Chelsea, United, Arsenal, Orlando City, and Orlando Pride." She's, I believe, a Breakers fan, so I appreciate that she called us out on what we love, but still enjoys the show. She says, "Crack a beer, open, and listen to this relaxed conversation among friends." Boom. One of my favorite reviews, because that's pretty much what we set out to do. If you don't have someone to hang out with and BS and talk about soccer and crack a beer, we hope we're that person for you.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like
Good
that.
job.
I like that. I like that review a whole lot. So on that note, if you could leave us a rating review on iTunes, because we still got 7 slots available, we'll get you because we can't do a ton, or iTunes kind of freaks out and thinks you're faking the reviews.
No, you can do as many as you want.
Well, no, but I'm saying,
for real?
so that's what we're doing, just 10 at a time at this
How
point.
about
Oh,
how
really?
about we have 7 prizes left?
That's what I'm saying.
Not slots
7
available.
slots.
Yeah, what are
We're
we-
not sending them on a cruise.
Whatever.
3 day, 2 night.
But yes, so we had said we were going to do the first 10. So we've got 7 left. Ron says I can't use the word slots. I'll use the term
Prizes.
7 prizes left. But we've got some Brewtiful Game koozies, and for those 10, we've also got a little extra something to throw in there as well. If you leave us a rating and review, please just take a screenshot or something of it. You can email us at thebrutifulgame@gmail.com or on Twitter at Brewtiful Game. You can direct message us there or Facebook if you find us on Facebook. However, you can get in touch with us. Or if you go to the website, thebrutifulgame.com, you'll see how to get in touch with us. Just let us know you left a review, and we'll get in touch with you, get your address, and we will be sure to send you out a Brewtiful Game koozie. We really appreciate it. And also, if you've already left a review or whatever, share us with your friends. That's huge too. We love doing this and we want to be able to keep doing it. And that helps us out a ton to do that.
Check us out on Untapped.
Instagram. Boy, we were blowing up Untapped in the last 2 weeks, man.
The past couple of weeks, we've been killing Untapped.
Yeah. Our friend Brian called us out. He's one of our friends that toast us on the Untapped, and he said, "Hey, for 3 guys, you need to step up your game. I'm just one guy. I'm out doing you." So we've all stepped up our game a little bit.
To be fair, though, I will say there are times I'm like, "Oh crap, I should have untapped all those." It's like later. Do you know what I mean?
Also, how has he been on longer than us?
Oh,
I don't know,
gentlemen. One thing we're terrible at, untapping the beer we did the night of. So make sure one of us.
We'll get it up there. Or Ron, did you already do it?
No, not yet. No. I'll do it afterwards.
We'll make it happen. But yeah, we appreciate the reviews and the ratings and just you sharing us with your friends. It's super appreciated. And for everybody that zapped us and dropped in, which again was our Callie, was also Amanda, and let me double check here. I was going to say Brian. I think it's Brian, but I want to make sure it's Brian and not Ryan. Brian, yes, and Brian as well, who left us reviews. And I love Brian is a ref of 20 some odd years. That made me super happy. So thank you all very much for dropping the reviews, and your stuff will be out to you soon.
One more thing before we leave. Today, October 2nd, another despicable, terrible act occurred in Las Vegas. I don't even have words. This type of stuff needs to stop. It is not forgotten by us. It is not. We do this show to hopefully, and most sports shows and entertainment, as a diversion from real life. Real life stuff occurred today. It is horrible. It is terrifying. We wish the best to all the families. We send our prayers, our love. Peace and love.
We hate that we understand from Orlando, but we understand. I hate to have to say the same thing almost barely a year later. But Vegas, Orlando is with you. Cheers, gentlemen.
Cilantro.
Love the beer. Cherish the game. The Brewtiful Game.